Hi, this is Tina Lorenz. I'm here to continue our series on how to make money with your emails in 2022. In fact, that's exactly what we're talking about today, money making email marketing for 2022. Right now, email is more important than ever to be able to own the real estate of your subscribers, basically living on your land, so to speak, so that you can communicate with them effectively, efficiently, consistently, profitably. And so what we want to do is make sure that they're coming off of the social media or wherever else they may find you and becoming a subscriber to your emails. And we'll talk more about that in the next couple of sessions, as well as how you construct that opt-in, how do you get them there in the first place, and what do you say in those emails. But today we're going to cover five profitable email pathways of the topics of why you'd be writing these email sequences in the first place. Now, when we talk about the sequences, we're also talking about these being what are called autoresponders. Autoresponders are emails that are pre-written, lined up in your email service provider in a particular order, in a particular timing, to be sent out on particular days for particular reasons, but it all happens automatically. And so the emails need to be written in a sense that they can be used over and over again for a long period of time, usually when you're writing them as autoresponders, and you may update and refresh and add to. But marketers need emails, lots and lots and lots of emails. And I don't even know how many I have in my own sequences, probably over 100, something like that. And so if you're a freelance copywriter, again, this is a great way for you to cultivate clients, and kind of an easier entry point could be writing email sequences. So keep that in mind as we go through the reasons why they might need emails in the first place. When we talk about a segment, we mean a particular topic where they're all related, they're in a particular order, and your email service provider has the technology to be able to build with someone managing the technology for you, to manage the sequencing of the emails so that they go to specific people for specific reasons. There's a whole tech part about that, but as a copywriter, we don't need to know how to do that. And if you're writing for your own business, you can either learn how to do that with your email service provider or outsource that part so that you can get it done. So let's take a look at the 5 profitable pathways. The first one is understanding what's the goal for your emails in the first place. Who are the people you're speaking to? Why are they with you? What is the topic that you're going to be covering, or the purpose of the emails? And so there's five different tracks that you might need to be on. And as you're going through this, if you have email sequences, keep in mind that is one of these missing in yours? Is there a gap in your email marketing that you might need to fill? So the first one is a nurture and trust building sequence. And it could be more than that. It could be more sequences. It could be plural. And so what are these for? Nurturing and trust building is kind of the let's get acquainted, the know, like, and trust factor. Someone has opted into your list. And when I say you, it could be you or for your clients if you're writing for clients. But they basically stepped up and said, hey, it's okay with me if you communicate with me. I want to hear from you. And of course, we're always going to have a way that they can leave if they change their mind by unsubscribing. So we want to be within all the requirements of how to do this legally and permission-based email. That's the most important thing. We're not spamming anybody. Permission-based. They've already raised their hand, opted in, given you their name and email address, at the very least, just their email address, so that you can market to them via email. So nurture and trust building. So just like dating, right? You don't just get acquainted and get married the next day, usually, right? Unless you're in Las Vegas and you're having a crazy weekend or something. But this is a nurture and trust building sequence is just that. You're going to give value. You're going to get acquainted. You're going to possibly give a tip on a regular basis through your emails. You may call your emails a newsletter, but you're not really asking them to do anything as far as purchasing or anything like that. You're just giving value, building that foundation of why they should be there in the first place, and so that they look forward to hearing from you. So that's the nurture and trust aspect of this. And you can have many, many emails. I think my evergreens, evergreen meaning that they can continually be sent out automatically, and that they're not specifically related to one particular event or a time of year, anything like that. So it becomes evergreen. It's functional all year round. It still works. It's still pertinent. And I think I have 50 or 60 emails in my email nurturing sequence for my subscribers. And I've known people that have hundreds of them and continue to send them out on a regular basis and maybe once a week, that type of thing. Second would be a re-engagement sequence. What does that mean? That could be that perhaps you've gotten a little bit quiet on the email front. Maybe you got a little lazy about writing those emails. You're trying to gather your community back together again, because one of the things about having email lists is and subscribers is you do need to communicate with them on a regular basis. It doesn't do you much good to have a list of thousands of people that only hear from you once every few months or something. They're going to forget. It's just the nature of how humans operate. And remember how many thousands of emails people are getting on a very regular basis. So you need to be able to stand out from the crowd. And one of the ways to do that is by communicating on a regular basis, having that connection. So if you have had a lapse or your clients had a lapse, it's then the re-engagement could be some kind of reason why. Maybe you're giving a reason why there was a lapse. Maybe you're having a bit of an apology. We call them lipstick letters, where I'm sorry, please forgive me, kind of a thing, where you invite them back into communicating with you. Give them the option to leave if they want to. Sometimes you see emails that it's right at the top of the email, even if you no longer want to hear from me, or if you no longer want to hear from me on this particular topic, you can opt out here, that type of thing. Some of the email service providers like ConvertKit, for example, actually have that option of you only want to hear about this topic and not that one. You can opt out of just one portion of a subscriber list and still stay subscribed on another topic. So there's lots and lots of ways that you can go deeply into how you're doing these emails. But re-engagement means just that, getting back together, re-engaging in the communication, re-engaging in that process, and kind of cleaning up your list so you don't have a lot of people sitting on it that you never communicate with, that are just not really doing anything for you. And then when they do hear from you, they may actually be kind of irritated, like, who is this? Because people do forget. Okay. So re-engagement. And so that you can continue to build a powerful list of people who truly are responsive and want to hear from you. Number three, non-buyer sequences. So this could be, let's say you have a webinar and maybe you have an offer on the webinar and they didn't take it. What? Yes, that actually happens. And so if they choose not to take action at that time, are you just going to abandon ship and say, oh, well, and that was that? No, they're still a subscriber. They haven't unsubscribed. They were interested enough to attend your webinar. They may need some more time to think about it. They may need some more reasons why they should take action. So you can have an email sequence that each one would hit on a particular topic or reason why, and have a sequence. Maybe there's going to be 5 or 7 or 12, however many that you choose to use. Really cannot have too many emails as far as having them in the account ready to go, kind of a thing. And so the non-buyer sequence is simply to say, would you still like to, kind of a thing. And so the emails would be inviting them to go ahead and take action. Maybe there's a deadline, maybe there's a special pricing, but you continue to give them the opportunity to purchase, because really only a small percentage of your subscribers or the people attending some of your special events may buy right on the very day that you make the offer. And so you have a sequence to follow up and give them an opportunity. Maybe they needed to think about it for a day or two. Maybe you just didn't quite hit on their reason why. And suddenly you have that one email that does. And so I recommend that when you have these follow-up sequences, that you do think about the different reasons why someone might be hesitating and address that reason, address the skepticism, address their anxiety, address their false belief that if they just wait longer, something will change magically on its own. There's many aspects of how you can write these non-buyer sequences. So number 4 in our 5 money-making sequences here would be PreFrame sequences. So what do we mean by PreFrame? Well, let's say you're getting ready to have a big webinar, or you're getting ready to have a launch, or you're getting ready to open up a special program. Your mastermind waiting list is about to be opened up. All kinds of things that could be coming soon, coming attractions, something that is valuable to your subscribers as they've been waiting for. And so a pre-frame is getting people ready to take action when you open the door, for your launch, or you open the door for your webinar. Now, a traditional pre-launch sequence, for example, which would also be called a pre-frame, would be, if you're following like a Jeff Walker product launch formula kind of a system, we had some one aspect of that could be called, we call them money magnets, where there were like 3 pieces of content. Traditionally, this is how many launches have been done: 3 pieces of content leading up to the door opening for the launch, and could be traditionally given as a video that teaches one aspect. Video number 2 teaches another aspect, kind of pre-framing what they're going to get offered to them on the launch when you really go for it full tilt. And pre-framing is very valuable in your marketing to kind of overcome objections, overcome skepticism, build interest, gauge interest. All of these things can be happening with a pre-frame email sequence. Very valuable aspect of your marketing. And number 5, good old sales sequences. These are the emails that are going to bridge the gap from that nurturing and building trust aspect of your messaging to making an offer. And not every single message needs to make an offer, but that you will periodically, or again, have a sales sequence for a particular thing you're doing. So for example, if you pre-frame emails and then you have a launch, and then you're going to have sales emails as well. And kind of similar to the non-buyer sequence, but more urgent, shall we say, more like present, that they're still deciding. And so you may have you're going to fit those sales emails into sequences as well. And because that's how you sell your programs and your products. So these are 5 different types of campaigns. And why are you writing them in the first place? What's the purpose of them? What do you want to accomplish with them? Proving social proof, testimonials, case studies, success stories. All of these things can be incorporated into any of these email sequences. So then once we figure out, okay, that's what we're going to do, we're going to use one of these categories for your profit paths for your emails. So what comes next? Well, you need to understand who's your prospect. What is it? What are their concerns? What are they thinking about? Where are they at in this journey with you, right? And so some considerations for them are, where are they at in their business or their life or their goals? If it's health related, it could be a business building aspect, it could be personal development. Where are they at? You need to understand where they're at so you can enter into the conversation that's already going on in their head, the thing they're already thinking about. So this is something to take into consideration when you're writing your emails. What's their financial status? Are they affluent? Are they already making a lot of money online? Are they struggling to get started? Are they looking, depending on the topic, are they, do they have a history of recency and being able to purchase higher ticket type of programs? Are they looking for a really affordable way to learn something about how they're going to have a happier family, or how they're going to choose to buy a home, or how they're going to grow tomatoes? It just depends on what is their life goal, what is their financial status, and their ability, so that you're speaking to them at the same level, right? Or are you speaking to them at an aspirational level? Where's their location? This is something else you might be considering. It might be different messaging depending on what part of the world that they're in, and what kind of motivation do they have? What is keeping them awake at night? What is causing them to be a subscriber in the first place? How do they get to you? What is it that they are hoping to accomplish? So these are all things that need to enter into having an alignment with your email writing, your email messaging, and how you're going to communicate and keep connected with your subscribers so they can relate to you, or you're writing on behalf of your client. Remember that you may be the voice of a client, that you need to understand all of these aspects before you just start writing emails for them, right? And so then the step 3, get it read and give value. A couple of other really important aspects of your email marketing. So how is your email valuable to the person reading it? And yes, you can give value. You can give value by having tips, by giving support, by showing you care, by being available, by giving them something to think about that possibly is something they hadn't considered in the particular issue that they're involved with, or the niche market that you're in. Any of those things, how is it actually valuable to them, not just wasting their time? Is it interesting? Is it interesting to read? Is it conversational? Is there humor in it? Is it serious? Is it comforting? Is it polarizing? There's a lot of different ways that you can approach writing your emails, and particular reasons why you would, right? And so really understanding the audience that you're writing to. Does it fit into the rest of the sequence, right? You want to, when you're writing an email sequence, let's say you're writing 7 emails, you want them to be relatable, that they make a logical progression from one to the next, and not just random messages, right? Is there a theme? Is there a topic? Do you have a couple of topics you usually write about if you're doing the nurturing emails? Or are you doing a sequence? These are also called soap opera sequences, meaning that there's like installments, like episodes, and then your next time, this is what we'll discuss. P.S. Be sure you watch for my next message when I give you the answer to today's question. All kinds of things you can do that brings us to a term called open loops. Are you creating some emails that have kind of those little cliffhangers those little unfinished bits that someone needs that completion. So they're going to watch for that next message from you. And this is something that is taken from things like soap operas and scripting, that type of thing. When we watch a television series, where we see a scene like, oh my gosh, have you ever done that? Or I can't wait for next week to see what happens next on whatever the series is that you're watching, or you kind of binge watch something on Netflix because you just have to know what happened next. Those are called open loops, just unfinished information. When our human nature is, we want to close the loop. We want to know how it ends. We want to know what the conclusion is. And so you can literally build that into how you write your emails. Do your emails include a strong call to action? Is there something you're asking them to do? Now, it could be as simple as hit reply and tell me your thoughts on this, or hit me up if you have any questions. Be happy to answer them for you. Or it may be specifically, there's 6 hours left until the cart closes. You're going to miss out. Go here to be able to invest immediately. I do recommend that you don't use the words click here, okay, and that you literally build in you can use a call to action button, like a colorful button that's in the email that you're going to click, just like on a website. If you do that, be sure that the language on it is something actionable, like, yes, I'm ready. I want to sign up now. Please let me in, something that's more than click or submit, that type of thing. So, or if it's a hyperlink, if it's dark blue words in your copy, this actually becomes part of the copy. Think of it in that terms, not just click here, but what could you literally say as part of the copy that you can then connect as a link. So it's dark blue, underlined, looks like a link. And when they click on it, off they go to whatever that call to action was. And so this is another thing to consider in the writing of your emails, is how it looks on the page and how you incorporate your call to action as actual copy. Is it clear? Is it compelling? Is there more than one? You don't want to use too many, because then that's considered another form of kind of spamming. That's a whole other topic of how you write the emails that are deliverable. There's so many things to talk about with all of this, but I wanted today just to give you those quick tips of what types of emails you'd be writing, the profit path of places you may be leaving money on the table, gaps you may have. Remember that building that relationship with your subscribers is worth everything to you, and the cost of acquisition of clients is on the front end. So you want to make sure you maintain the relationship with them through your email and marketing. That's what I've got for you today. Thanks so much for being here. You're going to get it read, give value, and please, if you find value here, remember to subscribe, to comment, to share, hit the buttons, do the thing. I love to be able to speak to you again next time about the next level of what you do to have profitable money-making emails in 2022. Hope this was helpful for you today. I'd love to hear from you and your comments. And until next time, take care, write some great emails, and thanks for being here today. Thanks, everybody, and I'll talk to you again very soon.